Imagine you are a little old Spanish lady walking your Yorkie Poodle or Chihuahua Lab or whatever it is down the street on a sunny afternoon in Spain. The smell of the ocean is in the air, there's hundreds of mopeds passing you by, and the cool breeze is at your back. You are perfectly content without a care in the world. Now imagine that there's a 110-pound Spanish Mastiff Pit Bull mix barreling across the street, coming right at you. Throwing the very real possibility of a broken hip out the window, you scramble to pick up your precious little dog, fearful of your own safety and unsure what is about to happen in the next few moments. Then, to your amazement, the giant, fierce dog that came flying at you like a freight train stops at your feet, gently licks your puppy, wags his tail, and looks up at you with loving, bright eyes. This dog was Boomer, and he was the most wonderful dog I've ever owned. Boomer needs to be commemorated because he left the world too early. Without the chance to grow up, and without the chance to enjoy my children and a long, healthy life. I rescued Boomer in Spain in 2004. He was badly beaten and tortured for no apparent reason. And even when I got him, he actually had cigarette burns on his paws from where they were torturing him. If you've ever rescued an animal, you understand the anticipation and worry that goes along with the unknown. Would this giant dog be able to put his past behind him and enjoy a long, happy life? Or would his past come back to haunt him and make him aggressive and untrustworthy? I was able to learn very fast that this animal was capable of the former, as he quickly showed his ability to love unconditionally through numerous circumstances. As a service member living in a separate country from my fiance, Boomer was always there to provide me with a release from boredom, as well as probably get me out of some trouble, and keep myself out of getting in trouble. Boomer passed away at the young age of 8, which some may say is about average for the lifespan of a dog of his size, but for my family it was far too soon. He lived in 3 different countries, he saw 5 different homes, and he traveled more than most Americans do in their entire life. When looking for a family pet, many people have similar characteristics they're looking for: companionship, socialization, and trustworthiness, to name a few. Boomer had all of these. As I stated earlier, I rescued Boomer when my wife and I were apart, and from the pictures I sent her, she was very apprehensive about meeting him for the first time. Those worries melted away the first time she came out to visit me, as Boomer immediately recognized her as his superior and quickly adapted to his reduced role in the family. This was a common occurrence among all of my visitors. Everybody would come initially frightened, and then once they spent a few minutes with him, they realized that he just wanted to be loved and give love. I think the biggest lesson that Boomer taught me was that you can't judge a book by its cover. And if you take an animal into your life and make it a priority, they will respond with as much compassion as love as you give them. One day shortly after my son was born, my wife and I decided to take a stroll through the neighborhood. We wanted to burn off some calories and get out of the house for a little bit without doing anything too stressful. About 20 minutes into our walk, we're strolling along when out of nowhere a large male dog had gotten off his leash and he had noticed Boomer. Suddenly, I knew exactly how that little old lady felt years ago in Spain, scared, confused, and unsure about what was going to happen next. I quickly reached for my son and pulled him up out of the stroller to my chest and turned away from the dog who was jumping towards us. As soon as I could turn my back, Boomer pounced on the animal, submitted it, and allowed time for his owner to come over and defuse the situation. Once again, Boomer had proven his role as protector and companion to my family. My son was less than 2 months old, yet Boomer had again accepted his reduced role in the house and protected my son as he was his own. Trustworthiness, companionship, loving. These are all traits that we look for when finding a new pet. Boomer will never be forgotten and will never be replaced. He was not just our pet, he was our friend. And as written in the Hebrew proverb, say not in grief that he is no more, but live in thankfulness that he was.